Hey, so let's move to Al. Al, what was the thing that sort of stood out to you in at Ignite?
Well, outside of Ian's shared channels, where you no longer have to worry about tenant switching, right? Which is for me the best part about shared channels. Outside of everything that you guys have been talking about, I think that if every team that I've been invited to could magically become a shared channel, and I'd have a single pane of glass to access all the communication platforms. I mean, I've got a list of about 13, 14 tenants that I have to log in, log out, or a progressive web app snapped through Edge and have 12 Teams icons on my Windows rail. On my side, more around knowledge and content services. I've been spending quite a lot of time talking about legacy enterprise content management migrations, moving off the old content servers and documentums and file nets and those things. And Microsoft has come full circle, driven by Ian Story, Chris McNulty, Naomi Moneypenny around what they've done with Project Cortex and SharePoint Syntex, right? And when we see the glue between, and it's an interesting space because knowledge, insights, and mining is not necessarily the at the forefront like Teams is because everything is surfacing Teams, but what you can do with large amounts of data on the back end for content services. So things like Azure Purview, which one of the reasons why I'm wearing the Azure Bootcamp hat, where you can actually surface data inside of Azure Purview using sensitivity labels. And now you're getting an all-up roll-up of, and Simon Denton he's got a block model for the migration that they did at Mott McDonald, and storing data in multiple silos and being able to render that uniformly. So what got me excited about knowledge and content services is the stuff around Microsoft Search, being
Mm.
able to use the cognitive services, which is the engine behind what you are doing around identity, document identification in SharePoint Syntex, right? So document understanding is powered by content services. When you start looking at what you can do with Microsoft Search, and one of the reasons why I've been spending a little bit of time around Microsoft Search is that the search bar in Office.com or your entire Office 365 tenant has multiple sources on the back end. So when you do a people search, it actually looks at the Exchange GUL as well as the user profile service, and it depends on where you're searching, right? So when we look at security and compliance, GDPR, and protection of personally identifiable information, that's a big thing. So what you can do with Microsoft Search now, because they amalgamating that search experience, right? You're going to be able to start to surface cognitive services search inside of Microsoft Search. So think about having multiple silos of information. You've got some sitting in a data lake. You've got some sitting in AWS. You've got some content sitting inside of SharePoint. You might have file services in Azure, and you can now consolidate that even on-prem, where you can connect SharePoint Server to Microsoft Search and have a consolidated view of your content. And that's super exciting for me because it's about bringing together, and that's why content services exists and why they laid ECM to rest, right? Because ECM's premise was a single point of entry, one version of the truth. And everyone decided to move things to SharePoint, and we want to decommission everything. And with content services, and the construct of content services is connecting your data sources and giving you a unified view that way. So when I start looking at what is hip and cool for me, coming from a knowledge management background, that's really where I'm at. What you can do around semantic search, how they're gluing all of these disparate solutions together just through Microsoft Search as the old Bing for business, right? That's what got me really excited in the space. And then second to that would be what they're doing around SharePoint Syntex. Being able to do proper content assembly, expanding on. I think Phil's talking about content IQ and how that's feeding information into Loop, and it's all part of the same model. When we start looking at how to provide users with data-driven information so that they can
Mm.
make data-driven decisions. We're seeing the joining of Oh, I haven't even thought about this. Tacit and codified knowledge, structured and unstructured content, and bringing that through to you so that you can actually do some proper telemetry, not telemetry, data. And it's been a long day, gentlemen. It's 8 p.m. And I've been on calls all day. So if I'm not making sense, you can tell me to shut up. But I'm excited about data consolidation and data representation in the Microsoft Cloud, right? Azure and M365. That's what gets me going, because the architectural design on the back end with data lakes and Azure Synapse and Azure Purview and everything that you can consolidate around doing data classification and data quality services with structured and unstructured data, and then applying a security, compliance, and identity management label across it, is what's super, super, super exciting for me. And I'm done now.
Yep. No, the search stuff is coming is certainly coming along. I don't think we've seen a lot of impact so far with search, Microsoft Search, from the end user perspective at the moment. That we still haven't got that whole across the 365 stack, that whole view of this is where we're we just search in one place and we get everything come back. So we get stuff from Outlook, Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive, Yammer, wherever across the 365 stack. We still haven't quite seen that yet, but we've had a good move recently in Teams in public preview for the search page that's come in there. If anybody's on public preview on Teams, go check it out, because it's a massive improvement from what we had. So it'd be great to see when that goes to production. But as you say, they're increasing the number of items on Microsoft Search through the graph for external objects up to 5 million, which is a huge number of items. I'm personally interested to see some of them other connectors they put in Jira, Confluence, and ServiceNow. Originally they're getting in the knowledge base, but they're bringing in also the catalog soon, that's in ServiceNow, so your request catalog, and then they're going to also on their roadmap now is to bring in all the tickets as well. So can you imagine if you're a user of ServiceNow, you're looking for your ticket, you don't have to go over to ServiceNow to look for it. You can find it in in a general search. So the more of those sources you can get in, the more you get that one place to search. I believe also they announced now, I think they announced something about being able to, if you already have search as search services out there that you already use, they're going to be able to bring those in as another source of your actual your data as well, which is pretty cool.
If you look at all the connectors in Azure Purview, that should give you an indication of what sort of connectors you could want to sort of surface using Microsoft Search. And it's just it's literally just another way of getting data in. And once it's in, it's indexable. And if it's indexable, it's searchable, right?
Definitely. Look, that's a good way of segueing to Phil's topic. Now, Phil, this may be another way that we can consume some of our search results. What are you talking about again?
Well, in here, basically, Microsoft they made a big announcement about it, but there wasn't a lot of information. But it's called Context IQ,